While today's heart surgeons are incredibly skilled at performing transplants, bypass procedures, and installing pacemakers, many patients with heart failure can be treated with drug therapies alone. We'll learn more about these medications after today's Healthy Body, Healthy Mind, Did You Know? Did you know? Only about 2,300 heart transplants are performed each year in the United States. Nearly twice that many patients are on a waiting list for a new heart. Heart failure can affect everyone, young or old, rich or poor, men and women, and all races and ethnic groups. Here's Julie Donaldson with the courageous story of a young mother who has refused to let heart failure dampen her spirits.
Experts say 15 to 20 million Americans are at risk for heart failure.
The truth of the matter is that it permeates all age groups, all socioeconomic strata, and especially all races.
5 days following the birth of her second child, Corey Filippo started having trouble breathing while lying in bed. After she went to the emergency room, an echocardiogram revealed a serious problem with her heart that was probably caused by her pregnancy.
It's frightening. Anytime you hear heart failure, you don't know what that means with your own heart and how you're going to progress in the disease.
Dr. Clyde Yancey is familiar with the fear that many patients and their families feel after hearing a diagnosis of heart failure.
They have this heavy aura of an oppressive illness from which there's no hope. And so a lot of what we have to do is to blend in appropriate information and reasonable optimism given their certain circumstances. We try to introduce heart failure to them as a dynamic process, as something that is in evolution, that can go one of two ways, maybe three. It can stabilize, it can deteriorate, or it can improve. People are less fearful of a prognosis once they know exactly what's wrong. And so there's a certain relief by saying, okay, now I understand, I've got this heart condition, but in the very next breath, what are we going to do about it?
Today, physicians can utilize an array of medications to treat heart failure.
The most important advance that came about over the course of the 90s were two classes of drugs, one called ACE inhibitors, ACE, and the second class of drug called beta blockers.
ACE inhibitors open the blood vessels, making it easier for the blood to flow through the body. Beta blockers keep the heart from working too hard by blocking the body's response to certain stress hormones.
What they do is to retard the body's own fight or flight mechanism.
When used in combination, these medications have led to a 50% decrease in the annual risk of death and a significant improvement in patients' day-to-day functioning. Unfortunately, too few patients are benefiting from this therapy.
Experts estimate that less than 50% of patients in this country who have heart failure are on this combination therapy. In addition to ACE inhibitors and beta blockers, many heart failure patients are prescribed diuretic medications to prevent fluid retention. Other medications may include aldosterone antagonists, potassium supplements, and vasodilators such as nitrate preparations. Some patients may also receive blood thinners.
We don't have a cure by any stretch, but we can certainly help patients feel better. Now we have really a surfeit of compounds, that is a number of drugs that are beneficial.
Keeping track of numerous medications is only one of the many changes that have taken place in Corey Filippo's life since the mother of two was diagnosed with heart failure. Thanks to medication, a healthy diet, a balance of rest and exercise, and plenty of support from her family, Corey is feeling much better.
We really just changed our lives and how we do things and what we do, and the things that we enjoy, they're just changing just to really accommodate how much I can do. And really from when I first was diagnosed with heart failure to now, I can do so much more. I need to rest and take care of myself and eat right and exercise and do the things that I can do that are in my control, and not worry about the things that aren't in my control.
Careful. Oh, good hit.
The most important thing for me is my kids, and whatever I do to be here longer, to be with my husband and my kids is the right thing. I start and end each day with, you know, hugging and kissing my kids, and I just am happy that I get to do that.
Like so many people with heart failure, Corey Flippo hasn't let a medical condition diminish her zeal for life.
Julie, it is amazing to see how treatments for heart failure have evolved in recent years, giving patients real hope that didn't previously exist.
You know, even more exciting advances are expected in the near future, but experts still stress the importance of diet and exercise.
They're absolutely right. You cannot underestimate that. But we'll talk about that next. Thanks, Julie. We'll learn more about preventing heart failure after today's Healthy Body, Healthy Mind Q&A. Question: why should heart failure patients avoid salt? Too much salt in the blood can allow fluid to build up in the body, which may cause swelling in the ankles, legs, stomach, or around the lungs. The excess fluid also increases the heart's workload. Obesity.